Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, this is the truest thing that anybody has ever said about Nigeria. We all agree with what this guy has to say, and we all think exactly the same. Guys, I bring you this. There would have been a war or a coup if a non-northern president practiced nepotism like Buhari. A bishop, Kuka, is the person that is saying this. So there would have been a war or a coup if a non-northerner president practiced nepotism like Buhari. So now this is a sentiment that we all, of course, have at the back of our minds as we all alarm at the Fulanization that is going on at a very rapid pace, unapologetically and with no remorse within the Nigerian space, just Fulani everywhere, to the point now that when the DSS was recruiting, just as a random sample, they'll recruit 150, and out of that 150, 135 will be Fulani. So all of the institutions within the Nigerian space is being Fulanized. If you travel to Nigeria now, the person that will attend to you at customs is a Fulani man, the immigration man is a Fulani man, and the police that you will meet on the streets is a Fulani man. So we are completely surrounded within the southern space, and this is happening openly with no apology as we all alarm and just wait, their arms folded, waiting for a miracle from the skies, as again there would have been a coup if a non-northern president practiced nepotism like Buhari, a headline attributed to a Bishop Kuka. So now let's now find out exactly what the bishop has to say. The Bishop of Sokoto Catholic Diocese, Matthew Kuka, has accused President Muhammadu Buhari of institutionalizing northern hegemony whilst reducing other parts of the country to second-class status. Kuka, in his Christmas message on Friday, said there could have been a coup or a war in the country if a non-northern Muslim president had practiced a fraction of President Muhammadu Buhari's nepotism. The bishop warned that although Christians could not fight back, God does not sleep. He said, "This government owes the nation an explanation as to where it is headed as we seem on a journey into darkness. The spilling of this blood must be related to a more sinister plot that is beyond our comprehension. Are we going to remain hog-tied by these evil men, or are they gradually becoming part of a larger plot to seal the fate of our country? President Buhari deliberately sacrificed the dreams of those who voted for him to what seemed to be a program to stratify and institutionalize northern hegemony. He has pursued this self-defeating and alienating policy at the expense of greater national cohesion. Every honest Nigerian knows that there is no way any non-northern Muslim president could have done a fraction of what President Buhari has done by his nepotism and gotten away with it. There would have been a military coup a long time ago, or we would have been at war. The president may have concluded that Christians will do nothing and will live with these actions. He may be right, and we Christians cannot feel sorry that we have no pool of violence to draw from or threaten our country. However, God does not sleep. We can see from the inexplicable dilemma in his north that God does not sleep. So I added that last bit, that God does not sleep, but of course that is the summation of what he has to say. But these really are perilous and interesting times that we live in within the Nigerian space. So anybody that has been following this channel of ours for anything more than a minute would have heard me frequently say that the southern regions of Nigeria are effectively a colony of the north, because Malam Buhari and his band of merry men, they see the southern regions as conquered territory. And what more, this thing has not been mentioned by the bishop, but is hidden in open glare. What they are actually doing is they are trying to change the demography of the southern regions so that they would permanently have dominion over that space. What do I mean? We have been seeing a streaming of northern Fulani people into the southern regions, especially in Igbo land, and they are coming to Yoruba land as well. I remember there was an instance where they caught like about 2 or 3 trailer full of them, about almost 500-600 of them packed in a trailer, just landing in Lagos. So there is a streaming of Fulani people into the southern regions. This really is the strategy that the Arabs have perfected and instructed Buhari to carry out within the Nigerian space. Because, of course, I keep on saying the Arabs, the Arabs. A lot of you have to really come into the loop of the games that are going on both in Nigeria and by extension Africa and globally. Malam Buhari is a steeped in the wool northerner and a Muslim man who, by virtue of being northern and Muslim, presumes upon those two things as elements that places him above the southerners. So he has that arrogance of ignorance that by virtue of being northern and Muslim, he is superior to the southerners. So now by that same token, if he's vesting his superiority over the southerners on his religious faith, well, that religious faith then comes from somewhere, and that religious faith comes from the Arabian countries, Saudi Arabia to be specific, but the Arabian countries in general. So now for him to continue to subsist within his misapprehension, he has to then have a firmer grip of that faith. So that faith, of course, is a weaponized faith, as we know. They have a sword, at least as part of their insignia. So we all know that it's a sword-based faith. So what for him to continue to labor under that misapprehension of its superiority, he has to vest even more within that faith. So that vested within that faith that he has to have, that vesting within the faith that he has to have, then makes him then subservient to the Arabs, who of course control that faith. So the Arabs, of course, they are engaged in a ideological global war with both the Christian faith and by extension the Western countries, and they need the numbers and they need the resources of Africa. So where is the numbers and the resources of Africa? The numbers and the resources of Africa is Nigeria. So once they have grip of this Malam Buhari, they then give him a real insight into that religion even more. You will remember that when Malam Buhari went to Saudi Arabia, they opened the Kaaba for him. It's called the Kaaba. There's an inner sanctum within that black structure that the that the Muslims pray to whenever they go to Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure. I think that might well be where they are saying that their prophet is buried, but I can't say categorically. But they opened it for him especially to go in there and worship. So the stranglehold of religion on that guy is total, and of course to act in the interest of religion for somebody like Buhari supersedes anything. So if he's been co-opted and sort of like colonized mentally with religious fervor, as I believe he has, then the Arabs, of course, have then used him then as a potent weapon that give us Nigeria for the faith. So give us Nigeria for the faith now is what we're seeing playing out now, because all of the strategic positionings within the Nigerian structure is filled with Fulanis, and the borders are now open for Fulanis to stream all the way from Niger Republic, etc., to come and be domiciled within the southern regions, to the point then that within the next 20 years, the demography of the southern regions will change with the heavy weight of our Fulani influence. So this is what we're seeing playing out now, and this of course is what the good prophet, not prophet, what is his name, bishop, the good bishop from Sokoto state is echoing. This is just Fulanization and Islamization at its purest. So on an unapologetic, ruthless and single-minded, and there is absolutely nothing that the southerners can do about it as it stands at the moment, unless of course they pool all of their intellects together to find a way out of the position that they find themselves. Conversations in the comment section. The bishop has spoken, I have as well. So now what says you? Come share thoughts. So this bishop is now fleshing out the details of Islamization to us all, because we've heard that term Fulanization and Islamization, but the detailings of it, the inner workings of it, is a conversation that the bishop of the Sokoto diocese has now initiated, and I am now trying to progress. So come have your say regarding this matter in the comment section. But before you come have that say, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clicking, Fulanization, Islamization is what we're talking about. What says you? So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.